Good evening. Rape gangs, HS2, the Dover crisis. Let me tell you, my friends, excuse my voice, the political class is destroying Britain. In fact, I should have said it's destroyed Britain. I want your views tonight on these subjects: the rape gangs, HS2, the Dover crisis. And do you agree with me that the political class, whichever party, Labour or Conservative, have destroyed or are destroying our great country? My name's Jon Gaunt. Welcome to my show. Please accept my apologies for my sore throat. Good evening, Britain. Well, whilst our have you heard that song? Good morning, Britain. Aztec camera, fantastic. While our so-called leaders scream at each other like toddlers in Parliament, well, the real people, the people who pay their bloody wages, are suffering. Rape gangs roam free. It's official now. Nothing wrong with saying that. HS2 has drained billions, and again, the opening of it, the arrival of it, has been put back. You couldn't make it up. I say scrap it now. What do you say? And the Dover crisis, the small boats invasion, the illegals, over 20,000 of them, is spiraling out of control. But still, the political class, all of them, does nothing. They haven't got a clue. All they want to do is slag each other off. Look at the rape thing. Did they for 1 minute consider the consequences of some of the things they were saying the other day? Can they not think of the victims, the survivors, the women who they've let down, both Labour and the Tories? But they say, oh no, we weren't in power then, that was them. And it just starts into a total bitch fest. And today was the biggest low I've ever seen. I enjoy Prime Minister's questions, and I like the fact it's adversarial. But today was ridiculous. It was Angela Rayner versus Chris Phelps, whoever he is. I've seen him on telly quite a bit. But it was just horrid. They aren't concerned about me and you. They're only concerned about keeping their jobs, keeping their snouts in the trough. Our glorious leader, our supreme leader, he's come back tonight or this afternoon and he's had a COBRA meeting. He makes me want to drink bottles and bottles of COBRA. He's having a COBRA meeting to decide whether he's going to help Trump or not, or whether he's going to do it with a coalition of the useless. What is wrong with this man? He wants to strut about on the world stage. But we've got an invasion happening at Dover, haven't we? Why isn't he dealing with that? He wants to smash the gangs, and Rishi Sunak wanted to stop the boats. Both of them have failed. They do nothing. So tonight, I want to cut through their lies, and I want to expose the truth, because I don't know whether you agree with me. I think enough is enough. What do you reckon? Let me have your views tonight, please. How do we change things? Because if you're as sick of this political circus, this political pantomime as I am, please hit the like button. Hit it now. Go on. And then subscribe. It's free to join my YouTube TV channel. It's called Jon Gaunt TV. And please join us, a growing movement of people who have simply had enough. This is my second podcast of the day. I did one earlier. It's only 18 minutes long. Have a look at that one as well. But drop a comment below. This is the big one tonight. Who do you blame for broken Britain? And let's make sure that those clowns hear us this time. Are you with me or against me? I am so angry, fed up, depressed. The heat isn't helping, is it? All of these things come together. But when I saw Prime Minister's questions today with those 2 no marks, who do they think they are? And then you read the commentary on it. I read one guy off Talk TV or whatever his name is. He used to be a TV guy, Sullivan. He now thinks he's a political expert. Well, good luck to him. But he was talking about it, and he was in Chris Phelps' camp. So he said, oh, yeah, he prepared, he was this, he was that. And Angela Rayner was useless. And then somebody else from the other side who supports Angela Rayner said the complete opposite. I have had enough of tribal politics. And I think the country has, which is why Farage and Reform are going to win the general election. People have had enough of this SH1T, haven't they? Or am I just alone in my spare bedroom ranting to myself about this? Politics has got to change. There's a disconnect between us, the people, and them. Look at HS2. Anyone could have told them it would never work. It was too late. And it was certainly too late after COVID because people work at home. But not only that, I remember when I've commuted to London for 30 odd years. When you first got on, there was no internet. You couldn't work. Now you can. So for me, living in Coventry, it would maybe make it 10 minutes shorter to get to London. I don't need that 10 minutes. I literally don't need it. It's a waste of money. And for that, they have absolutely ripped the soul out of our countryside. Go to Kenilworth. Go to a place called Cubbington outside Leamington. Go into the Chilterns. They've wrecked it. They've also stolen people's houses off them and left them to go derelict as they change their minds about where the train line's going to end up. And HS2, it's not even going to go to bloody London. It's not even going to really to Birmingham. It's stopping outside. And as for Manchester, you can forget it, you Manx. You've got more chance of Oasis being original in a few weeks' time than actually getting a train to London. HS2, don't get me wrong, I'm all for high-speed rail. I've been on it in France and Spain. It's brilliant. But we're at least 20 years behind the curve. We don't need it. And a brave Prime Minister, even at this late stage, like Cameron was going to at one point, they would stop it. They've delayed it again. It was meant to be ready in 2033. They've delayed. And this is how confident they are. They're not even giving a date now. I say, and I want you to comment on this, I say scrap HS2. I know there's a lot of jobs, but what about the waste of money? They also reckon millions, maybe trillions, has been stolen. What on earth is going on? You keep working. You keep paying your bloody taxes in, whatever you do. They'll keep up the wall with it, if you understand where I'm coming from. So that's HS2. Then we had an edifying spectacle of the rows over the grooming gangs. And people forgot that we were talking about women's lives, girls' lives who have been completely ruined. It all became, oh, well, you didn't do this. You've had 14 years to do that. You've been in power nearly a year. Why couldn't any of them just say, yes, we need to get on top of it. I'm going to have a cross-party meeting to work out how we move it forward. That's leadership. But we haven't got that in this country. We are being led by muppets, self-centered muppets. Are you with me or against me? This is the Jon Gaunt podcast. It's HS2. It's the rape gangs. And then, of course, it's got to be Dover. None of them have come up with an idea how to stop it. It's pretty simple. Forget about Rwanda. Let's use Ascension Island. We own that, don't we still? Although the way Starmer's going, it'll be sold off soon. We own Ascension Island. We own a load more islands down there. Just make it clear. We're going to send you there. If you land at Dover, we're going to send you there. And I've come round to the Rwanda thing now. We wouldn't have had to send many people for the message to get over. The streets are no longer paved with gold. We're not getting a 4-star hotel. We're not getting squeezy soap and a leisure centre. We're going to be getting put straight on a plane and sent to some godforsaken place we thought we'd left. What do you reckon? So you bring that back. You do what I also have been banging on, and they'll come round to it eventually. Put them in tents, proper tents, army tents, but not hotels. So when they send back on their iPhones, their brand new phones, I don't know how they managed to get them in the boat, you know, with all the women and the children. How do they manage to squeeze all those phones and leather jackets in? It's amazing, isn't it? Because there's so many women and children on there and people who aren't young men of fighting age. So they would send back videos, not of them dancing in plush hotels, but of basically them sleeping in army tents. What is wrong with that? Have you seen what they live in their homeland? Have you seen what they live in Calais? And have you seen the French again today? Just taking photos as they all get on the boats. They've even got a taxi service now to pick them up. They give them buses to get to the beaches. This is just crazy. This is just wrong. Why haven't we got one political leader who will grasp this? Well, I guess we have, but he's nowhere near power at the moment. Farage. He says he'll do it. Do you believe him? Have you got faith in Nigel? Am I going over the top? See my headline there. Rape gangs. HS2. Dover crisis. The political class have sold us out or are selling us out. And we, like mugs, keep like seals, keep clapping if it's our side. If it's our side who says something clever or witty, flag off everybody else. You see it on X all the time. I'm not suggesting we want consensus politics. I'm not sure that would work either. But we've got to get out of this blooming mess today. And meanwhile, Starmer, the Supreme Leader, is prancing about on the world stage again. It showed you how important the G7 was when Trump left early. And I agree with Trump. If it's not the G8, if it's not got Russia in it, what's the point? It's just mad. It's just a big fat jolly for them all to go. I wonder how many biscuits David Lammy, is that it is David Lammy? How many biscuits he ate on this particular trip? We have been let down. Do you agree with me or not? I'm coming to your comments now. The rape gangs, HS2, the latest. We've got to get rid of that now. And what's happening at Dover? How do we stop it? We may as well have the ideas because the idiots in the Commons clearly haven't. They've let us down. In fact, I'm coming round more to the conclusion they haven't let us down accidentally. They've done it on purpose. They're so busy feathering their own nests, they don't give SH1T about me or you. Right, that's the rant. Let's have your comments now, please. Thanks for pushing the like button. Keep doing that. Smash that like button. And also, please, if you want to reshare the link, you can do that as well, so that more people end up watching. The more we get watching, the more the algorithm will love us. Or listening, doesn't matter if it's on the podcast. But if you do listen on a podcast, come back to the video later and have a look at that as well. I think I'm looking quite good today, considering I've been so bloody ill and my throat's come back a bit. But honestly, please follow. It costs nothing to do it. Subscribe to Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube. But of course, you can watch this on X. You can watch us on Facebook, wherever you fancy. Just watch us or listen to us and tell your mates. So when this show ends, make sure you tweet out that you've been watching it and send the blooming link. And then if you want to support me financially, you can do that with a super chat or a super sticker here on YouTube. Just click Is it a dollar sign? People keep telling me what it is. I keep getting it wrong. There's a little sign at the bottom here, down here somewhere. Press that and you can donate anything from £1 or a couple of quid. And if you want to donate a £5 and upwards, which a lot of people did yesterday, I want to say thank you to them, especially to Wojtek Koreski, one of my oldest fans, and Graham from the Bruges group. They sent me loads of beers. They're not beers. They're like a £5 token, yeah, effectively. If you'd like to do that, it's www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. And you'll notice me, my pictures there. And you can either choose coffee or beer. All right, let's move on. Let's see who we got on the show tonight. Annie O says, hi, John. Hi, Annie. Nice to have you here. Then she says, the PM has made a big gaffe today, shaking hands with a translator. I didn't see that. What's that about, Annie? Give me a bit more explanation for that one, please. Peter Adams, he'll be wanting to fall out with me. We always have a bit of a ding-dong. All right, Peter. HS2 is a disaster. Oh, my God, he's agreeing with me. Rape gangs need to be dealt with in a very harsh way. I'd execute the bastards myself, but I understand what you mean. Dover crisis. Well, it just keeps going on, says Peter. Well, how do we stop it, Peter? I'm asking people to have positive suggestions. Jackie Ward says, am I the first to comment? No, sorry, Jackie. 3 or 4 people got in before you. I do apologise. Try again now. Helen Medlock, nice picture of you there, Helen. This is the great thing now with YouTube. Your pictures come up as well. She's on Facebook from her avatar. Good to have you on board, Helen. Hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, says Jackie Ward, Starmer is more concerned about what's happening abroad than with his own country. Well, Jackie, that's apparent, isn't it? He's after some big job, clearly, at the UN or the World Bank or one of these big charities, like Miliband. Not the Miliband who looks like Bernie, whatever his name. What's his name? The comedian. You know, the ex, he's dead now. That's Forbits, the dog. You know what I mean. Anyway, his brother, no, not him. Milburn. No, not Milburn. Was it? Oh, God, John. Sorry, my throat's blown up. Anyway, Ed, whatever, Miliband. His brother, he runs an organisation that sounds like the Thunderbirds or something. It's called International Rescue. He's on over 200 grand a year. Nice work if you can get it. Well, that's what all these politicians are on about. And then they publish their books. Then they go on speaking tours. It's a complete and utter joke. So when you say, Jackie, once again, Starmer is more concerned about what's happening abroad than with his own country, I've got to agree with you. John, when I visited the UK in April this year, I travelled from Hungary by car. No checks done on my vehicle by border security. I could have easily had 2 illegals in the boot. Yes. What's this one says? T1000 says, evening thugs. I think he's taking the mickey because we're all far-right thugs, aren't we? Although Starmer is one of us now. I always thought he was... Edit, stop it. Fraser says, G.I. cartoon. G.I. Joe cartoon Cobra. Don't know what you're on about. Peter says, reform winning an election. Ha, 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 ha. Well, how would you know? You've deserted the country. You live in Hungary. You've just told us. What would you know about politics, Peter? Pulling your leg. Hi, John. Re HS2. I work in the public sector in project management. Oh, you must be permanently on holiday. There are checks and balances built in so projects don't waste money. But sometimes they're bypassed and ignored and just goes ahead anyway. Well, Chopper, I think that is Chopper Mark MK50. I think that's exactly what's happened with HS2. It was a vanity project. It was George Osborne, wasn't it, who originally came up with the idea, and maybe Gordon Brown. See, this was another thing where it was cross-party to a certain extent. And then Cameron wanted to get rid of it, and he didn't. Boris wanted to keep it. It's not their money, so they don't care. And also, none of them, hardly any of them, have ever run a business, so they don't even care that it's other people's money they're wasting. We are being run by muppets. But what I'm trying to say now is, could one of them just develop a spine and say, all right, this has gone on too long. We're all guilty. We're all in the wrong. We should have packed it in weeks ago, months ago, years ago, decades ago, even before we got it off the planning board. But now we can't keep on spending money on it. We just can't. Business. My mate's got a beautiful country hotel. He wanted to put 20 more bedrooms or something like that once. The shit he had to go through to get permission off the local council. Oh, it might ruin the area. Then HS2 comes on, literally bulldozed right the way through. They got whatever they wanted. That can't be fair. This is a man who bought a hotel out of receivership. He's had it 30 odd years and created loads of jobs. And they just run roughshod over him. And he's not the only one, is he? John, the rape gang inquiry should be the end for Starmer and his cronies. I seriously can't handle another 4 years of these morons. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I know, but you're going a bit tribal there, David. I'm not having a go at you because I do think he's a moron as well. And I don't think there's any talent in his party. I agree with most of what you've just said. However, it isn't just them, is it? The Tories were in power during this period. The simple bottom line is the whole political class are scared, you know what, witless, shall we say, of the Muslim bloc vote. They are scared to stiff of it. Absolutely. And this is why they never really clamped down on postal voting. We know which community was doing most of the fiddling on that. It was happening in Coventry. It was happening in Wolverhampton. It was happening in Birmingham. Why haven't they clamped down on it? And then there was a big hoo-ha about civil liberties because you had to turn up with your passport or some proof of identity. I'm afraid that's what you need to have if we're going to stop the abuse. But some people didn't want to stop it. And they were in all the political parties. They're what I call the common purpose mob with their rainbow laces in their Doc Martens if they were police men or police women in a police force, not a service. This is where it's so obvious. Are you with me or against me? Let me have your opinions. I bought the mail for you as a lifelong Labour supporter. I bought the mail for you as a lifelong Labour supporter. I don't understand that, Michael. I don't read the Daily Mail. I read it amongst all the other papers. I work for the Sun, mate. I hate the Mail. Again, they're not grooming or rape gangs. They are paedophile gangs. Well, you can call them whatever you want, my friend. Call them whatever you want. They're certainly rape gangs because they were raping girls and then passing them around. And it was organised. That's the definition of a rape gang. But if you want to call them paedophiles, on you go. I don't know why you bothered making a fuss about that tonight. I'll send you a few Friday when my invoice is paid because I really appreciate your work, says Craig McKenzie. A few what? Beers? Coffees? Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, people now corrected me. It's millipede. Yeah, of course it is. Milliband. Sorry, I did get that wrong. What was the comedian called then? Bernie Winters. Mike and Bernie Winters. That's right. And the little one. Anyway, I've made the joke. Yes, we're all far right hooligan terrorist thugs, says T1000. Thank you. You're almost getting on my nerves now, so up your wit, otherwise clear off. And the sad truth, John, is we can't because Labour is only concerned about covering Labour and those liable at the top, the state. Until we change the government to go after them, we can't do jack all but share awareness. Well, yes, but the problem is, Billy Connolly said it, didn't he? He said, no point in voting because whoever you vote for, the government always get in. It's the civil service. And did you see that? I think no one's actually said it's not true yet. MPs, civil servants, and people who work for central government can't be questioned by this so-called public inquiry into the rape gangs. Well, it's not an inquiry then, is it? The whole idea is that everybody could be called. Everybody could get that knock on the door. I think it's wrong. I think it's absolutely wrong. We're no longer Great Britain. We're now broken Britain. Nothing works properly anymore. HS2 has become a national embarrassment and a money pit. China and other, and it stops there. I don't know what he said after that, Seaside. Send me the next bit. I'd like to read that out. David Marks says HS2 is a joke. They've never got it off the ground. Well, that's quite good, really, because it's a train. But it is like other infrastructures. It's like airports. You know, we're never going to get that third runway or whatever it is at Heathrow, are we? It's all just BS. And all those spending pledges. Did you see that with Labour? Yeah, Labour. It's hard to tell the difference. They say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do... And then you realise most of what they're promising is after they're going to be out of office. It's all smoke and mirrors. The Tories do the same, and that's what I'm trying to say tonight. I don't think you can trust any of them. The inquiry will be flawed. The text itself shows that. Time to stop being afraid now and call it all out for the sake of our children and our culture. But who's brave enough? Well, I told you before about making my videos. You have to be very careful about... I might get pulled off tonight for using the word rape in the title. I think it's totally justified because it's one of the burning political issues of the day. But YouTube might not agree. And then they might demonetize it, which is why I'm always asking you to buy me a coffee, buy me a beer, or send me a super sticker, because you can't just rely on the advertising. I don't think they will now in the present climate, because it's legitimate to say that they were of Pakistani origin in the whole, and they were Muslim, or alleged to be Muslim, rape gangs. But you never know. Evening, John. The rape gangs have been going for years. Correct, says Steve. And it's still happening today. Correct, Steve. They will never end until the law gets tough and somebody gets a backbone to deal with them. Exactly. And that backbone's got to be deportation, execution, capital punishment. It can't just be, oh, you say a few hurty words as well, because then I can put you in prison. What you've done so far is not enough. That's how it feels. Is it or not? Has anyone got any positive suggestions? Do you all agree with me that HS2's got to go? Where do you stand on the rape gangs? And where do you stand on Dover? What do you want your government to do? Because Starmer's just doing what the hell he likes. And I'm pretty sure if the Tories got in, they'd be the same. And then I ask you, and I'm not sure, I'm going to vote for him, but I'm not sure. May as well give him a chance. I'd vote for bloody Basil Brush if he stood. May as well give him a chance. But I'm not sure Nigel will pull it off either. What do you think? Where are we going next? Graham Hatton. Isn't it sickening that votes have a higher priority than young girls' safety? Yeah, you're right, Graham. It's rotten to the core, John. Graham, that's the best text of the night so far. Thank you very much indeed for it. Kevin Lewis says, starter, high treason, send them to the bloody tower. Off with his head. Good work, John. Thank you very much indeed. That's kind of you. Exactly. It's not an inquiry because Whitehall, etc., are going to be spared, says Craig. The only Dover that Starmer is interested in is Ben. I don't understand that joke. Bendo? I don't understand that. Craig says, John's right. Telling the truth is risky. So we need to try and support such work. Fair play, mate. Yeah. Well, the bottom line is when I started doing these things, I didn't know there were rules. And sometimes, you know, one of my videos, I've still got 2 videos that are demonetized. Where you don't get any money for the advertising. And one of the things they say is that it's not necessarily suitable for all advertisers. But now that this is a matter of natural concern, I can't think of a firm in the world that wouldn't want to be involved in the discussion. I'm being sarcastic. But once we start getting run by adverts, we're buggered, aren't we? Excuse my language, but we are. And that's the problem. Right, you're a bit quiet. I'm going to stop in a minute because I'm cooking again tonight. I'm always cooking. I'm like Cinderella. I really am. Lisa's out babysitting for her sister. They're going to see a comedy show. They did say who it was, and I thought, well, I can't think of any modern comedians I'd want to go and see apart from Billy Connolly. Jimmy Carr, I've been watching a bit of him on YouTube. Some of his stuff's quite funny, isn't it? But he loves himself, and I hate that false laugh he's got. So anyway, there we are. That's me done. That's me done. I'm absolutely sweating. It's like a sweat box in this room today. But if you are as sick of the political circus as I am, please hit the like button. If you're listening on a podcast, hit the like button there. Then when you come and watch it on the telly, hit the like button here. Subscribe. It's free. It's called Jon Gaunt TV. And join the growing movement of people who have simply had enough. Drop the comments below, because who do you blame for broken Britain? And let's make them listen. I don't think necessarily we can convince them to do anything, but we've got to try, haven't we? We've just got to try. What's Steve saying? That's your cooking, John. What's your cooking? Are you having a go? Behave yourself. Jackie Ward is sending me loads of hearts. That's what I like to have. Oh, you're cooking because that's why it's probably burning. It's hot here too, lol. Chopper says, cheers, John. Have a nice dinner and a nice evening. Yeah, I'm gonna be a slob tonight. I'm gonna have my dinner in front of the telly watching EastEnders. How ridiculous is the EastEnders plots at the moment? Now that bird who went off to be Wonder Woman but failed, I used to really think she was fantastic. She failed. She's back. And some long, convoluted problem. George has been booted out of the pub. And it's just crazy. But you know what? I can't stop watching it. My mother-in-law says every night it's on. When's it going to end? I said, 8 o'clock. No, when's it going to end? It's been on forever. I thought it was one of the best comments I've ever had about telly. When's it going to end? I remember that when we used to do pantomimes. When I had my theatre, I'll just tell you this little story. When we did pantomimes, we used to take them around old people's homes and homes for people who had, disabilities or whatever. Not really fair, is it, that they put us on them? But I used to play the dame. And we're in this old people's home in Kersley, which is an old mining village outside Coventry. And I'm doing my line, and this woman shouted, "For God's sake, take me to bed!" So I, sort of being witty and thinking I'm really on the ball, I turned around and said, "Oh, that's the best offer I had all week, love," right? To which she said, "No, for God's sake, definitely take me to bed." Poor love. Huh? Imagine her last bit of entertainment was Gaunty in a frock. Hey? Hey? What are you having for dinner, John? Says Steve. Well, I didn't want to say because I know I'd said I was having this the other day. It kind of makes out I'm boring. I'm having sweet and sour chicken again. I've reinvented it. I used to make it years ago. And of course, it's trying to get the acidity and the sweetness without sugar. I use pineapple. But you got to get it right. But yeah, I love it. It's nice. Yeah. I'm still trying to do very few carbs. I never really have sugar unless it's in beer or wine. So. But I think I'm looking all right, especially for someone who was nearly in his grave a few years ago. Anyway, got to finish. Thank you very much indeed. 1903. I should get this on before EastEnders starts. I'll hear the bloody theme tune in a minute. All the best. Really enjoyed it. Have a watch or listen to the other one I made earlier. It's quite good. It's very short. And then we'll talk again tomorrow at 6:30, although it's so bloody hot. Try and sleep tonight. Ladies, control yourselves. I shall be sleeping stark naked. Right, the window's open. I've got a fan as well. I've forgotten what his name is now. No, I've actually got an electric fan. Anyway, I'm off. I hope I look as good as you, John. I'm sure you do, Steve. See you later. You've been watching the Jon Gaunt Show. The most important thing to say, no matter what these politicians will do, they're never going to break up our families, are they? So if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug, and don't forget to tell them you love them. Thank you so much for watching and making this successful. Thank you. Bye.